Hi everybody, welcome to Gustavsen online webinar and hello to all my Norwegian friends. My name's Colwin and today we're going to look at the new 50th anniversary SK100 chuck from Axminster Tools. Now I've been working for Axminster Tools 25 years and along that time we've seen chucks change slightly and we are now making all of our own chucks here in Axminster in Devon. I just wanted to introduce the latest version. So for a long time we've been producing the SK114 and the SK114 is our flagship chuck and 114 millimeters across its diameter, and this particular one here is fitted with its C jaws. Now one of the other things about the Axminster range of jaws is that it has the biggest selection of jaws available of any chuck. And the C-jaws is the go-to, and we're going to look a little bit more at those C-jaws in a minute and why they're so useful. But that's the 114. Again, for a long time we've had the SK100, which has served us really, really well. This is the SK100. You can see here 100 mil across its diameter, but this one uses a chuck key with splines on it. Now, that's worked really, really well for a long time, but we thought to ourselves, you know, there's getting more demand overseas, especially for a square key in a 100 mil chuck. So we thought, well, why not? Let's give it a go. And so now what we've come up with is the new SK100, which is using the same technology, the same material, so stainless steel, and more importantly, the same square chuck key that's used on the SK114. This is a really, really nice chuck. It's turned into my go-to chuck purely because of that reason. The square chuck key plus the fact that I can grab it quickly with one hand and move it around. It's a little bit easier to move. It's a little bit lighter than the SK114, as you can see here. Okay, you can see the difference in size, so the 100 instead of the 114, not massive amount of difference, but it looks completely different, and it handles differently as well. Like I say, I can grab it with one hand and move it around. It's a nice easy chuck to move. So what I'd like to do for you is just to show you exactly what's in the basic kit. You can buy the chuck body only. That comes with accessory mounting jaws. Accessory mounting jaws are these things right here. These are the go-to. These are the jaw that help you put all the profile jaws on. And these are the bit that slide. If I can just move that for you a second. So this is what we call a bare naked chuck. If I can move these jaws using the square key, and all we're going to do then is wind these jaws in. You can see them moving. So there are joined between the profile jaws and the chuck itself. These are softened edges, so hopefully if your fingers or knuckles come into contact, they're not going to cut you. But one thing I want to show you by moving these all the way in, this is our safety jaw feature. You can see in the back there, you can see that little screw down the bottom. That means that you wind the jaws all the way. They're not just going to fall out. You can quite easily take that screw out if you want to remove your mounting jaws. But there we are. I can't go any further, so I can't have an accident unwinding them a little bit too far and then suddenly turn the lathe and everything flies out. So really, really good little safety feature, that one. So that comes as standard on all of the chucks. And now in the little package that we've got here, we also have the C-jaws. And I've showed you these earlier. These are already mounted on my other chuck. Okay, and the C-jaw has this lovely little tooth on the inside, which is actually a little gripper section designed to bite into your timber. On the external part, you have a dovetail. So that dovetail then means that you can hold a dovetailed recess on the bottom of your bowls. They register by this little groove here onto the mounting jaws, and so you line them up, you use the grub screws that are then supplied, lock them on, and you have your C-jaws. The C-jaws are a gateway to use things like faceplate rings. So here we are, I have a faceplate ring. This is a great device. I have a lot of these, not just for bowl blanks, but for sanding discs, for push plates and things like that. They have a dovetail on the inner part of the ring, which then your C-jaw expands into. And you use that as if it were a faceplate. So you screw your faceplate ring onto your bowl blank, In turn, your C jaws then expand into it, and so you have your bowl blank locked onto the lathe, meaning that then you can turn the outside of your bowl, simply undo the chuck, turn it over into the C jaws and unscrew the faceplate ring and take the inside of your bowl out. So really, really quick method of working. If you don't want to use a faceplate, you wanted to use a screw chuck, for instance, the same thing applies here. These C jaws, because of their little tooth on the inside, will then locate over that little ridge that's on the screw chuck, again locking that into position. Especially good for smaller pieces where you need one single mount. And like I said, with everything in this package, whether you go for the SK100 or the SK114, it's all made of stainless steel. None of that issue with rust, so it'll stay brighter and nicer for longer. And that's especially good if you're into wet turning. If you want to do a lot wet turning of things like oak, of yew, birch, all those materials that have a lot of tannic acid in, it's not going to affect your chuck. It's going to stay nice and bright and nice forever. So there we are, that's the new SK100. Just stay tuned, have a look at this video as to how they're made. Literally 100 yards away from me is our engineering works. And let's take a look, see how these lovely chucks are made.